Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Furia.
We are about to witness an all-out Brazilian brawl. The Ninjas in Pyjamas have already clinched their World Championship spot, and they face down Furia, who look to claw their way in.
The main event on the line, Ninjas in Pyjamas. It is their golden opportunity, as golden as they would like as well, ready to snatch away. But there's a few teams that are waiting in the wings to just see how this series ends up playing out. If Ninjas in Pyjamas take this, they clinch World's main event. Team Secret, they clinch World's wildcard, and Furia, they are gone. They will not be going to Dusseldorf. If Furia end up taking it though, G2 Esports managed to clinch that wildcard. Space Station Gaming clinched Worlds as well, and G1 also clinched the Worlds wildcard.
And we're really starting to see the picture come into focus. And an early chance! Mapta will open the score sheet, and you can see Astromik jumping out of his seat. We saw him in their match yesterday. Astromik was the heart and soul of the team. He was the heart and soul of the offense, and you can see the leadership there and the hype.
I love seeing as well that he stands up, points to Fury, almost disrespecting, saying, these guys took my teammates. These guys, they stole them from me. Let's prove that we are going to be the boys that can take everything back from them.
And you talk about representing Brazil. NIP with a chance to get an extra South American team a spot at the World Championship. And this is a lot riding on the shoulders of NIP, but Furia, their entire season building up to this moment, an early chance, no double, and Mata will be able to get behind it. And now he's gonna try to take a quick shot, but you can see out of boost.
Yeah, low on boost there, not great on the counter-attack. Instead now forced to Jan. Carter has a jump out of the way of one. Sneaks it just a smidge below the crossbar, and that's Furia straight back in it.
And there was an interference play. You see Lost getting in the way of Astromik, messing Astromik up, forcing Bems to go for that ball when he just didn't have an angle. And Lost is one of those players on Furia that will look for those bumps, will look for those demos, and it's already paying off early for Furia. Now on kickoff, Card a late flick, but Bems able to deflect that off to the side.
Beautiful touch in the middle too, and a lot of quick plays trying to find their way through for Furia, with Card now challenging, goes up nice and high. Not a double commit, but two players in the exact same place for Ninjas in Pyjamas on that opportunity. Better time here taken for Lost, and what I've enjoyed seeing so far is how Furia want this more than anything, because this is everything on the line for them. There's no chance that they can go to Worlds without this win, and then the win versus Complexity later if they can get through NIP.
But we've seen Furia under pressure. The desk talked about it already. They have proven that when they are pressured, they can produce diamonds. Lost. Astromik trying to clear that out. Jan will try to keep that back in, but Bems will air dribble it out. Flip reset from Bems, gets it by Card. Lost will boom it straight towards net. Astromik has to tip it to the side. Card waiting, drop pass to Lost, but Lost running on zero. And now a fast win from Mata. Lost gets back just in the nick of time on zero boost.
It's a really good push down as well from NIP, making sure that Mata seems to be the guy who is making sure that Furia, they're not back in time. He's had two runaway chances, but with no boost, he's not been able to capitalize on them whatsoever. Again, Astromik playing through that back line, gets up nice now with Mata flicking it central. Bems is there to shoot, but Card dives in the way.
A nice shot from Bems, and this is a much different NIP than we saw against Optic yesterday. Astromik, he was the entire offense for NIP. Mata and Bems were both sitting back quite a bit, but this NIP team is looking much more furious, and you can tell they're comfortable. These are some old foes. Mata trying to win that around the corner. Jan will stop it into Card. Card to the corner where Bems is waiting with full boost. It's a nice block, but Astromik will be there, and he'll lob it deep. Gives Jan time to think about it, and he finds Lost in the corner. Lost with full boost, passes down to Card. Card will rip it towards net, but Mata was waiting right there, dead center.
Now that sheer speed, not quite enough. Placement could have been better. Try and snipe for the corners if you can, and Jan trying to snipe for an NIP player on the back line. A good pass back from Card, finds Lost, and intelligently leaves it, picks up the 100, lures Astromik in, but with another touch that luckily falls his way. Ninjas in Pyjamas, their attack is going to be somewhat blunted. 90 seconds left, drawn completely level.
Ooh. See the wall dash from Mata trying to get around that ball. Bems will have Mata to the right, but it's broken up by Yan. Now, lost. We'll pass it over to Yan. Yan to the backboard. Denied by Mata, but gets away from him just a bit. Out in front. You can see Astromik with a massive beat over Card. Mata going for the bump, but lost. Still gets this nicely to the side. Now a pass over. Card. The delayed shot and the deflection off to the corner.
It's a lovely deflection to the corner as well. Make sure that nobody can come back in for Furia to get that devastating next blow. But now a 2v2. Lost makes it that 1v2, and Mata cannot work his way through Card. Manages to get a brilliant tackle. Keeps control of this ball. Yan up for one, no second. Instead, Lost Way Central, one long shot. Card has to dive back. Final 30 ticks down.
Nice rotation back from Card. Covering that back door. Yan loses possession. Mata in the air. Back to it for a flip reset. Saved by Lost. You can see Card wasn't able to steal the corner boost. That allows NIP to move up. NIP not able to keep that in at the half. Furia trying to get one last attack. Lost. Back down. Gets a nice touch around one. The pass in, but it was too short. It barely hits the turf, and we've got overtime.
Overtime feels so fitting here as well, James. Realistically, these teams are fighting for everything in their season still. Although chat and the desk are very much in favor of Furia, NIP have got a huge play that they can make sure that they can capitalize on, but it's just been Furia since that first kickoff. Little bit of pressure alleviated. Yan up high, blocked out again by Astromik. That man is hungry and chasing every single ball that he can get his hands on.
Oh, but we see a double demo. It's a 1v3 for a brief moment. Bems in an air dribble. Gets a pinch. Now Astromik goes for goal, but Yan sweeps by and knocks it out.
In and out, utterly clutch. Mata now, the man who has been pushing down on the Furia defense this entire game so far, leaves that ball to fall away with a pinch that goes the way of Astromik. Can clear it long, but with no real idea for that ball. It goes to the 1, the 2, but the third is finding its way in. Mata, another chance. You're right, the NIP are pushing. Chance to shoot, but swipes in.
And it was a double commit offensively from NIP. The rotation's thrown off, and that gives Furia space to get out. Astromik, a long clear. That was a good stint of pressure there for NIP.
It was, with that double commit, it seemed a little bit panicky. I believe it was Astromik that came through. Bems with a backflip. Yan now takes full advantage. Up high, the double can't come in. It's top corner, shot down, lost off crossbar, then saved off the goal line.
Astromik saving it, and now Card getting it down from behind. But a massive 50-50 win gives NIP at least some breathing room, and another block at the midfield by Astromik. NIP, they might not be the favorite, but they are swinging again, forcing a double commit on the goal line from Furia. Furia looking to break out. Lost on the pass. We'll go for a pinch out to the middle, but that's shut down.
I love the shot as well from Bems a second ago. He shoots low, he knows it, and now comes out. Card to shoot, crossbar. Clutch saves coming in from both teams, and brilliant positioning with every touch of the ball too. Astromik's gonna go high, solo, sees Mata, backboard, it's open. Yan saves it away, just ends up a smidge wide.
Mata was not able to get around that ball. It looked like he could make some sort of play on it. And it looks like we have some sort of issue going on right now, so we will look for a pause.
This is an interesting time for a pause as well.
I mean, at least it was in overtime. And we'll be able to hopefully reset right at the kickoff. Oh, nice hit by Lost.
Huge. Towards the goal. All right. This has been as close as we can imagine as well. And I like seeing the fact that, you know, these teams are seeing something goes wrong. Let's just stop it, hands down, make sure they're all pushing through together. But man, these are split by a hair right now, Jim.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was, you know, you looked at the numbers. You looked at the desk completely predicting Furia, all four across the board. Twitch chat, 82% plus predicting Furia, but you would not be able to have guessed that looking at this game so far. In fact, I think NIP has been the aggressor. We've seen many situations where Furia does all they can just to get a counterattack to break the pressure. And, you know, NIP, they have the energy, the emotion. You can just see it right away. Even at the beginning, Stumpy, the audience watching online didn't see it, but we saw a huddle up there before the game.
It was
from
loud.
NIP. Yeah, and they were into it before the game even began. You can tell their heart's in it.
Yeah, a huddle right behind their PCs, and they made sure that it was loud enough where though Furia was sitting down, they were chilling, they would make sure they were going through on their in free play. They shouted, they then looked at Furia, then they sat down. That kind of mentality is something that has brought a lot of teams through. I remember seeing FaZe do it right before the grand finals. Of course, they didn't win that back in San Diego. Didn't work out on that chance, sure. But I love the fact that they went for it and they made sure that they were pushing as hard as they could to do so.
And what I love is just Astromik. You can really tell that he is trying to step up in that leadership role. He's been around. He's been getting this experience on the international stage. And, you know, he's been having to deal with teammates getting stolen right from under his nose.
Yep.
But he continues to make it back here and find and build talented teams. And NIP right now, I was leaning towards them getting the win. There was even that brief moment at the end where Mata was airborne, and you thought he might be able to make a play in the ball, and he didn't. I was thinking it might have ended right there.
Yeah, I mean, any touch from him as well could have found itself, you know, towards the net. It would have been a bit more convincing if there was more power on it, but Yang managed to send it back into the corner. And I think both these teams are... We were talking about pressure, and I think pressure is the best word for this series because of how much it's absolutely riding on it. Ninjas in Pyjamas wanting to push towards that world's main event. They get to skip the wild card if they win this series.
And that's a great point, Stubbs. Just to remind everybody at home, the stakes of this series. This is the entirety of what Furia has worked for since moving to North America. They made a roster change, bringing in Lost to help bring them to the next level. It seemed like they finally fulfilled what was destined for them by winning a North American regional, but guess what? The job is still not done. It is not that easy. They still have to win if they want to go to Dusseldorf.
I mean, this is how they proved that it was the right decision to make as well. Myself and Cole spoke to them when we made a documentary about the Moist vs. Furia series back then when from Worlds going into the full major. And we spoke to them and they were saying to move to North America was our dream. The opportunities are so much greater there. We need to make sure it's worth it. We need to make sure that we haven't gone from a region where we're going to be a big fish in a small pond. We want to start off small fish, big pond, and then work our way up. Make sure that this decision for our careers was the correct one. And that kind of ambition, you can't learn it. That's just so innate to these players. And it is brilliant that we're seeing Furia manage to get this close to it. But you're right, James. Job very much still not done.
And I don't know what it is about South America, but they sure do produce a lot of big fish. they love eating North American minnows, I guess. So. It's easy to forget that Furia represents North America, but the fact is all of these players hail from Brazil. This is a Brazilian brawl that we're seeing unfold before us, and so much talent out of that region. We're really getting to witness that firsthand. And despite Furia having accolades, Gamers 8 champions, having a phenomenal world championship run last season.
World.
NIP, that's all out the window. They don't care. They're still hanging in there.
Yeah, they're going to try and make sure that they're not going to be putting too much respect on the Furia esports name. And I want to make sure, too, that everyone's keeping an eye on Jorby back at home. The biggest Furia fan that we have ever seen. And I know that he's doing a watch party at the moment, too. And I bet he is sitting there with a heart rate monitor on thinking he's at like 120 plus.
I was going to say, I would be surprised if he can even stick in his seat. I mean, if you've seen the clips of Jorby.
He's jumping up, swinging his scarf around.
And we thank everybody at home watching as they patiently wait for the new server to be made and the players to join. Thank you, everyone, for sticking through this. We'll have the game underway very soon. Players are in this new lobby. We're making sure everything is working perfectly, and then we will be resetting. And to remind everyone, it is game one, and it was in overtime when everything went haywire. I think it was 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock in overtime. So we will probably be starting right back from kickoff.
So, Furia and Ninjas in Pyjamas, they're trying to play for their own dreams, but after this match, whoever makes it through faces off against Complexity. Yet again, that South American hailing brawl that we saw previously in the San Diego Major, all the way back in winter. We saw that happen before, so we're going to be seeing that lower bracket round 3, there it is, populated by teams that originated from South America. It's an interesting time, I think. to be a fan of any of these teams because of how much is on the line. And a few of them, you know, there's been mess-ups. They've not always been perfect. There have been problems that we've seen from these teams. Seeing the three of them in this lower bracket, in this spot as well, is a scary place for them to be.
Oh, certainly. I think many people had Furia and Complexity being real contenders to go the distance, and they find themselves down in the lower bracket quite early. And even if you remember that Complexity match, you know, they did play well enough to win. It all came down to that final play at the end. But for Furia against Moist, they took Moist down pretty convincingly in the first game. If you were just tuning into that first game in the Furia Moist series, you might think it'd be a quick one, but Moist was able to make some adjustments and take Furia down. We saw a lot less aggression out of Furia and a lot less solo plays from Yan. And Yan really does have the ability to sway a game and bend it to his will if he is playing at his peak.
And the thing is, Ninjas in Pyjamas, they know that. They know how to play against him. They know, both these teams know exactly what the other wants to play like. They know how to put up a defensive performance to shut them down. But equally, the offense, they know how to beat the other's defense. So they have every single counter card, every single know you in the book.
And I actually do think it is much in favor of NIP. The fact that they are playing against a group of players they're familiar with. They get that added bit of confidence. And really, there was some confidence that was missing in the NIP Optic series that you could just tell. But now this looks like a completely different Mata and a completely different Bems. And they are taking it to this Furia team as we are almost underway. It looks like just about to start with the game. Overtime again, coming up. Game 1 in this best of 5. Furia playing for their world championship life. NIP playing for an extra regional slot for South America and a spot right in the main event.
Anybody in chat, you know who the team is that you are supporting. Make sure that you support them as much as you possibly can because they are going to need as much energy as you are able to provide them with. I mean, Ninjas in Pyjamas, we said, they are playing to clinch their world's main event. They're also going to be clinching wildcard for Secret, and that will eliminate Furia. If Furia take it, G2, they clinch world's wildcard. Space Station Gaming clinch the world's qualification, and G1 clinch the world's wildcard as well because of how the North American and the European stakes are at the moment with the EU and the NA spots.
I really hope there's no G3 next season.
Honestly, I read the message. You might have noticed earlier. I read it. I saw G1 and I was like, is that correct? Am I wrong in all of this?
Well, here we go. We're getting back into the action, jumping straight into overtime. NIP had the edge with possession, but we're starting back from square one. Lost, forcing a rebound, but Mata, a quick beat. Card has to race back. Mata going for a quick double tap, gets a bump as well, but lost. We'll get in front of Astramic, prevent that shot on target.
Instantly straight back onto the high-octane play as well, lost with one reset. Instead falls it back down towards Yan, gets the touch over then central. Bems from his backboard, long once again, these clears. A clutch from both teams, nobody just setting it awkwardly somewhere into that 6-yard box. An easy shot for any of the teams either. Mata, one reset, nearly around the side of Khan. Instead with low boost, he can get that save away. 45 seconds elapsed and we are right back into this deadlock.
Oh, and you can see Bems considering the back pass, but opting not to. Yan slowed down. Bems into the corner, good speed, gets a double, but Lost is there. Lost again trying to make contact, but Astramic will launch it downfield. Bems with the 50, Yan with boost and some space.
Yeah.
What can Yan do? Goes for the fake, out to a dribble pass, but that's shut down by Mata.
I love seeing Lost just wait there as well, knows what Yan is capable of. A pitch going very midfield, and Astramic is able to clear up from it. A demo coming in. Player removed, no shot from Mata on that chance. A minute and a half already gone. Yan, he is up on his own, but a bump from Mata removes Yan from the play.
Bems and Mata having a fantastic midfield presence. Mata getting that bump from behind, and Bems able to break up the pass, but now we see Lost trying to pre-flip to that. We saw a pre-flip goal earlier today in that Power Ground Zero series. Almost saw one more. Bems loses control of the ball. Yan will control it in the air. Can't. Oh, he gets around him. Yan with the solo play forced the double. And now in the chaos, a shot goes wide by Lost.
Lost the chance to close down game one. It's been about 3 days so far, and yet he could not manage to sink it away. The defense from NIP is becoming frantic and scared, and Furia, they sense blood in the water.
Oh yeah, and you can tell that it's Yan who's striking the fear in their eyes. Yan getting back to the ball, forcing another double commit from NIP. NIP struggling to tread water at this point. They are starting to sink under the weight of the Furia offense. Card with control. Third of a tank, tries to pass that down, but that's broken up by Mata.
Not enough boost, get anything convincing from it either. And Mata, again, the man who always seems to be the spearhead for NIP. But Yan, the spearhead on the other side, gets shut down by Bems on that opportunity. Lost sends it high. Carter receives. Carter double, but not quite enough flash in the tank.
Bems trying to slow it down briefly in the air with an air dribble. Got a flip reset as well, but has to bail out. Astromik, heavy first touch. Yan pinching it back. Lost. Trying to win it into space. Out of boost now, but sees Card, goes for the bump, and Card can't finish the job.
Always seems to be those diving last-minute plays. They're trying to earn these epic save medals when they could make it a little bit more comfy for themselves. Yan with a lot of boost, a lot of time. Gets immediately taken down from him though. Shoots high of the open net.
But there's a corner boost steal, and Lost setting up the pass. Card wanted to drop that down, but excellent defense from Bems. And now the breakout, the shot, it's off the post, and it was an own goal.
Devastation! The shot is wide from Mata. No chance that he knew. Tried to stay that way. Backflips, in fact.
Oh, and we will need to break that down from multiple angles because you could tell the defender streaking back did not know where that ball was going to bounce out. They were trying to squeeze it into the corner.
Send it back towards the right, but he knows that someone's coming in to shoot it. He has to make a touch. No matter what happens, he has to make that touch there.
And I think the question is, did he? How close was the attacker behind him? Because you saw the angle that came off the post, and it looked like there was potentially somebody in net to be able to clear it out off of the bounce. So that one is one you're going to really have to go to the replay and break down. But regardless, NIP did not give up that fight, even from the beginning. In regulation, they looked like the favorite.
He's there.
Yeah, and he was there.
Mata was there, he was up, he was ready to shoot it. Oh, sorry, Bems was rather. But man, that is, with Lost, you're just thinking, okay, get a touch on this. It comes out awkwardly, backflips, but that game was so close up until that point. That was still a very, very tight overtime. Bear in mind, add like 2 minutes onto the 3.5 that we had.
It was a long one. And then not only was it a long overtime, but it was a long technical pause.
Yeah.
And I thought that NIP had the edge. So I was curious to see how NIP would come out after that extended technical break. And we did see Furia start to surge, and we did see them start to get back into that.
Yeah.
And we saw some great solo efforts from Yan, but the defense held up for NIP.
Game number 2 is going to see NIP with that lead, and that is a very, very confident place for them to be as well. A double commit coming in early for Furia as well. And I like seeing the energy after NIP won that game too. The immediate shaking hands, fist bumps, jumping up, cheering. It means a lot to them. There's still 2 more to go though for NIP.
And I would agree with the desk and with chat that NIP, they are certainly the underdogs, but they are playing with so much fight and determination, it's tough to tell. Astromik beating Card. Yan going up and over. You see Mata trying to find his way back in rotation. Bems in the air. Will stay on it, but you can see Astromik also jump, so not on the same page, but still pressure is building. Good boost steal. There's the shot! Mata blowing up the Furia line!
Astromik stands tall, makes sure that they are completely aware that they're in charge right now. Top corner sniped. Mata sends Furia to the graveyard. 50 seconds, NIP lead.
And at what point will all that pressure really start to overwhelm Furia? Their entire season is on the line. Everything they've worked for all year is coming down to this single series against NIP.
In a best of 5 too. They've not got the time to lose another one here. Furia They're going to need to make sure that they turn it on the temple. Otherwise, you're right, James, that is going to be their entire season. Bumps in the back line. Don't shut down NIP on that opportunity, however. Now, Card to the ceiling, 50 boost, no one challenging. One touch, no reset, block right above the goal line.
Oh, you can see the panic defense. We have seen Furia make it really difficult for NIP even there. And now a shot will be defended. However, Furia, despite getting close, has not been able to break through. We do see a demo. Yan taking out Mata. Lost looking for Yan. You could see the bump attempt. Yan trying to take matters into his own hands, but shut down.
The sheer amount of defense that NIP are on waiting to then get his counter-attacked, it terrifies me as a viewer. I don't know how they have got the ability to deal with the amount of offensive prowess that Furia can put forward, but they are looking for a full counter-attack team. Oh, and Mata, with his second of sustained offense, manages to sink the second.
The land rookie, you could see the flip reset bump from Astromic, getting that space for Mata, and Mata does not let his team down. Now 2-0 lead, NIP over Furia. Furia's offense, they've been like a car spinning their wheels in the mud. Furia, they only have half the game left to work with. NIP, a 2-goal lead, it's not comfortable, but it could be enough. Yan, a heavy first touch and get some help there. I don't know what to say about that, Stumpy.
Get some help. It's like there was a second batsman sent it towards him and absolutely wallops it back home. Straight past poor Bems in the net. Furia, with the help of NIP, they cut down that deficit by 1. Halfway through the game, deficit halved. But that's not what you want to be seeing for NIP whatsoever.
The one silver lining for NIP is that Furia still has not been able to score very many.
Yeah.
That one was all NIP. Mata, the challenge. Card to the sidewall. Card trying to control this ball down. Late flip, gets it around Mata. Bems will keep it in the corner. And you can see a team bump there. Give some space over to Yan. Yan ripping a shot. Will go for a ceiling pass. It drops down. And Mata was there just a step before Card.
I don't understand how he was there before the offending player was as well. Card, he had some speed, but Card now up for 1. That reset not successful. 90 seconds now beginning to tick down on our clock. Yan, central. Card to shoot, but a save again. Astromic defensively has been wonderful to watch. Bem, 0 boost. He just has to wait and sustain the players that fly towards him. Furia, a chance to work out from their own corner, but this is where NIP have done so well so far.
NIP, they could be on match point after this game. Mata, winning it over Lost. Now Astromic, trying to tip that down, gets another piece of it. Bems will lay off the ball, gives Yan some space, but Yan gives it right back.
Yeah. Didn't really have any plan with that ball. Wanted to sort of just sideball redirect it, but from his own half, it's not really going to go that far. 45 seconds now. NIP, so much on the line. Mata tries to swipe Yan away from it. Isn't able to do so. 40 seconds.
It is this moment that Furia has to rise to the occasion. NIP, the underdogs right now. They are in the driver's seat, under 30 seconds left to go. NIP leading by 1. Furia only scoring because of an own goal. Card, back on the ball, gets dust hit by Mata. Mata off the ceiling, trying to win it down. Card into a dribble, flicks it around, and a missed bump. Bems dodges the demo attempt.
But Bems just had so much ambition for that ball. That ball now needing to stay in the air. Card up for 1, leaves it to Yan. That's the ceiling. That's lost for the second. 1 reset. Bems there yet again. Shuts down the Furia play. Yan's continue it with half a tank full. Lost goes for a bump. It hits the floor. NIP series point.
Oh, and who could have seen this coming? Ninjas in Pyjamas up 2-0 over Furia, the clear favorites. And right now, I'm a bit speechless, Stumpy. I did not expect NIP to be the team that looked like they had more ferocity, not only outside of the game, but inside of the game.
They're literally on the stage right now, and I hope that you guys can hear them. They are shouting. Normally, you hear them be like, okay, lock back in. Make sure that we're not getting too ahead of ourselves. Astronomic is going absolutely bonkers in the middle of our incredible stage here. And you saw him going bonkers in the game as well. The Mobile One high performance replay, seeing those one own goal and then the 2 actual goals for NIP fly in. Heads hanging at the moment for Furia.
And there's Yan, the player who everyone is looking to ignite the fire in Furia. He was recognized by his city for his achievements in Rocket League. And you can tell the pressure is continuing to build, and you know that Yan has to feel that on his shoulders specifically.
For anybody who wasn't here earlier, the stakes for Furia are immense. They lose this, they will not be at Worlds. They will not be going to Dusseldorf. Their season on the line. 3rd game, NIP hoping to break the dreams of their South American brothers.
Astronomic. He's been a nightmare for Furia. That flip reset bump opening the way for Mata. And Mata really coming into his own. You can tell he's much more comfortable today. And it could not have come at a better time for NIP. Yan was trying to catch it in a dribble. There's a pop-up pass, but the shot's gonna be wide. Astronomic takes a 50. Lost tries to cut it, but Mata will be able to win it downfield. Yan keeping this pressure on at the midfield, going for a bump, but somehow is not able to dent the NIP defense.
Mata then to go long with that ball, sends it into the back corner. Yan looking a little bit awkward, gets challenged by Astronomic, who comes out stronger for it and with ball possession. Lost midfield, but again, sends it straight towards NIP.
Pass down, Lost. Was hoping to control it. Nice first touch from Yan into a flip reset. Used the flip early, and now we'll have to rotate out. What will Lost be able to do? Goes off the ceiling and heads right back down towards net, and that's another easy save for NIP.
Minute 15 elapsed, NIP yet to score, but they've done so well whenever they have gained the lead.
Oh, there's a demo!
With a flip! Oh, the demo opened up the net, but Yan diving across. Mata now, the man who has been all over the pitch, the MVP when you look at a lot of the stats as well coming through for NIP as well. But a beautiful fake from Card. 0 boost, his ball flies central. Mata tries to chip Yan, but that man takes to the sky quicker than many that you will see. Lost with a pass across, but again, not really finding anybody.
And you can see Astronomic immediately going for that bump when he recognized Yan was trying to get on that ball. He would have had space and boost there as well. So key bump there from Astronomic. In terms of physicality, NIP has been much better.
They've also had much more frantic defense, and Lost shooting right above the bar on that one. It was a scary save. Cheeky little wall dash from Astronomic, gets himself to the ball a little bit quicker than his Furian counterpart. Mata with one challenge, goes low, chance for Yan to shoot. A bit too much pace on it. Card tries to find Lost again, but he wasn't there. We approach halfway through the game. These two teams in deadlock, neither wanting to make the first deadly error.
And Furia, the passing play was there. The idea was just right, but the execution was not. Furia has been having more possession than NIP in this game so far, but there's a demo. Astronomic.
It's a long shot.
Yeah, and that one might just be going in. Oh, it is! Mata had 0 boost, I believe had just respawned perhaps. Was trying to get back, had to cut around, was thinking about going for the corner boost.
He made it though. The fact he made that, realizing that I don't need that much boost, he can get it, but Yan, brilliant placement from him. Cover the only place where Mata can send that ball. Furia with a lead in game 3, a vital season-ending game 3.
Finally the lead for Furia. We'll see if they can hold on to it with their season winding down. Nice win from Yan. Yan looking for Lost, who did jump, but Astronomic was able to hit it downfield. Card uses up all his boost to keep this ball in the NIP half. Bems trying to get around the midfield defense. It pops high and goes across. Astromic with a massive 50 win. A fake from Bems, leaves it for Mata. But that's going to kick it all the way down to the NIP corner.
The counterattacks right now not working for NIP. They've relied on a little bit scrappy defense, maybe sending two every now and then, but they've not then had the second opportunities. With one pass across, though, Yan with the double skims the crossbar, but a backflip.
And where was the rebound goal? Yan almost scoring on that double tap, and he forced the defense into an awkward spot. They were just letting it sit there. So NIP catch a break. Bems trying to slow things down. Now Mata gets faked out by Yan. Yan going for a bump, but again, you're seeing Furia is so far back. They're letting Yan go up, and Yan is generating opportunities, but no one's there to finish.
They can extend it from one, but they're also thinking if we tilt a little bit up, this one is enough. A dub is a dub, does not matter how many goals you get. Bems left wall, sees Yan and Card in his way. Sees a teammate central though, can get it there. Shot blocked out from Yan on that chance, lost now. Right wing, 30 seconds from Furia, keeping their season hopes alive.
Have to hold on, but Stumpy, those 1-goal leads, they can be quite precarious.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if it's enough for Furia. NIP, these final seconds, trying to break out. There's a hard hit across the field, lost. Bails out and lets Yan take the hit.
Furia stay alive, but the final 5 needs an NIP spot of magic. Shut down. Card is quick. Astro keeps it high. First man to it is going to be Bems from the ceiling. Motta's there, no touch.
And Furia will stay alive for at least one more game. They had a majority of the possession. They managed to shut down and shut out NIP in game 3.
We mentioned their clutch factor as well from Furia. And these are the moments where you can really see it.
Oh yeah.
Where you see how much they can buy into a game, think this is everything that matters. It absolutely is right now. Where they can turn it around, be that more aggressive. But yeah, you just see Lost sitting there thinking, here we go.
You feel bad for him, but you could tell the amount of pressure that he must be feeling right now. But I think, you know, we mentioned it, and there was even that shot talking about how Yan was recognized by his city for his Rocket League achievements. You know, Yan is the dude on that team.
He's the guy.
He is the guy, and he showed it in that game. He got the only goal, but he was also generating chances. But you could see, because Lost and Card were playing a bit more conservative, they weren't there to finish them off. So you know, Furia, when they're at their best, are playing without fear. They are playing ferociously, quickly, and they just jump on you when they sense your weakness. But Furia was not that way in that game, even though they managed to win it.
Yeah, Furia, they still are playing scared. They still look worried of, it's almost like they have got that physical weight of worlds on their shoulders. And they're worried of, oh God, what if we don't make it? We've done this big move. You need to, as impossible a task it is, you need to scrub it from your mind, come to the Coliseum, and work your way through this Ninjas in Pyjamas side that is holding you hostage.
Furia, they need to keep going, and they're already testing Bems. But Bems is able to deflect that one out. Lost. He's going to leave this all up to Card. It's a 2v1, but Card jumps at the right time and is able to slow down the attack for just a bit. Drop pass. Mata going for the back. You saw Astromic get the demo on Card. And now Bems diving in with 0 boost. Astromic, well, that first touch, he was able to bait in the defender, but Lost goes for goal. Mata jumped early and still able to get that stop.
Yan goes high in defense. Opportunities really starting to form for NIP, where before they were looking for all these counter plays. Now it's much more them wanting to take it to Furia. They want to be that aggressive team. Do I like that change? I don't know yet. We have to see how this game goes, but their defense continues to be utterly stellar. Astromic saving it away from that near post shot from Yan.
Their defense was stellar most of the last game, only allowing a single goal, but it's the offense that has slowed down for NIP. Furia starting to lock things down. You could say, I'm not sure if that was a team bump, but something happened there.
Yeah, they just dived into each other. It's fine, that happens. NIP will be moving on. But Furia certainly rattled the Ninjas.
The Ninjas, though, are still one
demo
game away. There's the demo, and there's the goal! Astromic getting the 1-goal lead!
Astromic! rising through that smoke. In 90 seconds, that goal was enough for Furia in the previous game. Will it be enough for the Ninjas to progress through to the world's main event?
Card off, kickoff. Testing Bems. Bems has been a brick wall back there for NIP, and now another shot and another goal! NIP are pummeling Furia!
Screaming in each other's faces, being aggressive, on the pitch, off the pitch, loud, standing, jumping, cheering. And the opposite of Furia right now. They look down, they look downtrodden.
Oh, I mean, you could see on the player cam, Stumpy Lost put his hand over his face. You can just see the pressure and how it is affecting Furia.
But they've got to work it out of their heads. You've still got one more to win. NIP, this is not won yet. Furia, this is not lost yet.
They have to get their head back in the game for Furia. Guard to Lost. Lost sees Yan, but there's a demo. Yan getting taken out by Astromik. The physicality from NIP has given them the edge in this series.
Brutal as well, the two-man passing play, but the third spearhead, non-existent, gets melted down. Card, chance to shoot that one. Instead, it falls to Lost and does not get the touch. Bems on that right wing, halfway through the game, half the job done so far. Furia wanting to progress, but Motta, yet again, standing in the way.
Motta and getting the boost steal in the corner after those back-to-back challenges. The life, it's slowly fading out of the eyes of Furia. There needs to be someone to step up for this team. Furia, they have only 2 minutes left to play.
Bems from that backboard wanting to secure the third, but just ticking these seconds down with any awkward touch. It may well be enough to secure yourself that wildcard, so the world's main event spot. Lost up high, gets one touch, down for the second.
And look at the read from Astromik, who even waited for that little touch. It did not throw him off.
And they're back on defense. NIP, this is where they live, this is their home. It's where they excel, James.
And no matter what, these Panther Claws are not getting this turtle out of its shell.
Furia, desperate times, desperate measures. 90 seconds, Lost challenging versus Bems. He is stronger in that instance. Gets it round one, Yan comes in. Carr can shoot this. He does stay on target, but Bems from that backboard is beautiful.
Yan, desperate now, trying to get this ball to Lost. Card has to go, and does so. Card to the corner. Pinch pass attempt out to the middle. Slowed down by Bems. Motta on the ball, who has been brilliant for NIP. Wastes even more time, but it's back up to Lost. Lost trying to get it out to Card. There's the shot, and it misses high.
Utter frustration from Furia. You finally get your chance after a minute and a half of fighting, and you shoot it high. 40 seconds remain. NIP still clear by 2. Motta up to challenge versus Card. Motta is going to be the victor on that chance to Astromik lazily to the center. Pass the Lost to Yan. But again, goal line stays NIP. It is their bread and butter. 30 seconds stand between NIP and that world's main event, and Furia going home for the season.
Furia need to do it now. This play here. The shot is knocked aside. NIP wasting even more time. Card, desperate, will sling this towards net, but it will just not be enough for Furia.
The Ninjas, they strike, they take the kill. Furia are going home from this season, and the Ninjas progress through this bracket and to the world's main event.
The Brazilian brawl ends with a decisive strike from the katana.